And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode number 840. Today is Thursday, November 18, 2021, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. And today is definitely a 10ish day. Top stories: Gemini crypto exchange seeks funding at $7 billion valuation. Fidelity clears regulatory hurdle to become Canada's first institutional Bitcoin custodian. Lawmakers push back on crypto provisions in infrastructure bill, and U.S. city sets up Bitcoin ATM in airport after crypto payment adoption, and more. But first and foremost, as I shake this screen some more and make some of those who have vertical woozy, let's go ahead and look at these prices on the day. It's a red day. I'm sure you all seen. It's not too crazy, though, I would say. I mean, this is kind of normal price slippage. A couple of percentage points isn't big in our world. But Bitcoin is coming in at $58,632, down 1.76%. Ethereum is at $4,113, down 1.49%. Binance Coin BNB at $551.93, down 3.22%. We got Solana at number 5 at $197, down 7.27%. Cardano at $1.80, down 3.05%. And then at number 10, we have Dogecoin holding it down at 22 cents, down 4.65%. And Shiba is still taking the beating on the week, down 10%, 10.49% at way less than a penny per usual. And other coins, of course, Crow, I did see from crypto.com, the Crow token that they have. Again, the reason why they're doing all these partnerships and sponsorships isn't just to spread the gospel about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, is to actually boost their underlying token, their Crow token, so they can go back and buy more Bitcoin. So that token is at an all-time high now that crypto.com renamed the Staples Center, which of course will be coming later this year for Christmas. So those are the prices really quick. Let me give some shout outs. I see the chat is already loading up. Thank you already for the likes. I see the likes hitting. Make sure you're not lurking and you're liking. What's going on? Wendy Nichols, Patrick Walter, Gil Remy, P-Man Van, Kadeem, Eric, Finn, Kim. Good morning. Good morning. Lawrence Sanders, Too Young, Too Gray. Yeah, you missed it yesterday. I had a clean face yesterday for sure. What's going on with Jerron, Pat Stacks, like the name Satoshi Slim, Tiohana Mayo. Good morning, Alapio, and everybody else is catching in the live chat. So let's see. So LPO said, what would it actually take for Bitcoin to drop below 50 or more? I think if we get a slip to like 53, it could actually aggressively drop. All it takes is for a couple of institutions to pull their money back out for us to see like a noticeable drop, and for other weak hands to kind of jump on with it. So I don't know, kind of we'll see by the end of the year what type of companies, organizations have weak hands and strong hands. I think right now, for the most part, people are going to stay in it. If anything, you might get some mid to large size companies that pull their money out if a crazy dip happens, only because they think they can't survive it. So when you look at companies like Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, Elon Musk, Tesla, like those bigger behemoths, they can afford if the price goes right now from 60K down to 30K. Like that's not going to freak them out. Will they lose a lot of money? Yes, but they're in it for the long term with the billions of dollars. But if a company, let's say, just has 50 mil to 100 mil in it, 150 mil in the market, they may be more likely to pull out if they see that 150 to 50 mil all of a sudden shrink to 25 mil overnight with a big dip. And then once one or two of those pull out, more will pull out, and you just start seeing those dips. So I think we're kind of good to go right now because the market's been set. All these new things are coming. Staples Center is being renamed to crypto.com. Of course, all these big changes are happening in the market. So I don't think we'll get that big of a slip, but I'm hoping for it. I'm saying I want to see Bitcoin go back down to 30, 35K. I hope on one of these exchanges, I'm about to set these buy orders for 8K Bitcoin again. Hopefully in another exchange like Binance makes a mistake and we can go in there and get some more dough. But speaking of exchanges, Gemini is in the news. Gemini crypto exchange seeks funding at $7 billion valuation. That's right. The Winklevoss-led firm joins a slew of other crypto firms raising money. And it looks like Gemini Trust Company, the cryptocurrency exchange, founded by none other than Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, the twins, of course, who infamously claimed fame to Facebook as well, is seeking to raise $400 million in a round of funding that will value the company at about $7 billion, according to people with knowledge on the matter. Now, one thing I will say, doesn't mean they're necessarily going public. I just put that was a little bit of a clickbait, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going public. But what I will say is when you do start getting funding rounds and all that good stuff and you're building the way they're building, it's certainly a possibility. Now, we did see with Coinbase, I knew they were going to go public. Like, I knew Coinbase was going to go public because they were pushing away retail investors so hard once they went to Coinbase Pro and some others. So I was like, okay, they're planning to do something a little bit bigger. Gemini, I'm not necessarily saying they will go public in the short term. It will certainly make sense for them. I hope they don't. I actually hope that they do stay private because as a private company, there are still some things. As you can see in this next sentence, the people have asked not to be identified because the information is private. That's right. When it's a private company, you can still keep information private. Information like customers, right? Customer data, who buys what, how much do they spend? I hope they don't go public so they can keep that type of information private. But again, what has surprised me, and also I think this is a fair valuation. I think they're actually being undervalued at $7 billion. The Gemini exchange has been around. They have not had many issues like others. There has been a couple of times where they were under maintenance when the price either dips aggressively or pumps, but that doesn't happen often. And again, I think they've been doing a pretty good job as custodians. So all in all, again, if Coinbase got up to 100 billion, and a lot of that did have to do with retail volume, new people signing up for wallets, them claiming that, hey, we have 1 point whatever million or 100,000 a month signing up. That definitely went into the price. But as far as the mechanics and the way the exchange works and some of the things the platform offers, like the lending and all that good stuff, or the staking, I think Gemini does a pretty good job. So shout out to Gemini. I'm glad to see they're getting this. And again, I think they're actually undervalued right now. So if you're one of those few private people that can get involved in this funding round and you feel like you missed out on Coinbase, I think Gemini will be, it might not have the same swing as far as, if this company goes from zero to being worth 100 billion, you might not get that same swing, that same type of return on investment, but I think you will have a steadier return on investment. Like the way Coinbase debuted as their direct listing and then their price immediately dropped, the valuation dropped. With Gemini, I don't think that will happen. Whatever they're valued at, if they were to go public or if they were to do anything else, I think that valuation not only will stand at where it's at, but it will actually increase. As long as they don't do nothing crazy overnight and be like, hey, we actually worth $200 billion tomorrow. Like as long as that doesn't happen, I think they're in good shape. So again, they're talking about crypto startups as the valuations are ballooning and new funding can help with acquisitions or with hiring staff as businesses expand internationally or look to introduce new products. It's more likely going to be to introduce new products. This funding is going to be used for compliance, people. The funding is going to be used for compliance. It's going to be used to pay regulators. Like they already have a hold and a handle on new products. Most crypto companies have a hold and handle on innovation and new products. That's not the issue. The issue is as soon as they create these new products and this new technology and they innovate, the government is literally coming around the corner like, oh, y'all over here making money? Listen, you know how it go. They want their taste. So I don't think this money that goes in these startups is going to be used for anything other than compliance for the most part. Compliance departments, HR departments, soothing over regulators, lobbyists, whatever is not going to really be used to build that company or that startup per se. Something else we might want to look into too. As companies start getting these valuations, this is crypto and Bitcoin. And of course, this isn't financial advice. This is entertainment, but this is crypto investing ancillary, right? These are all the companies and people saying, we're not going to spend this. Like they're saying they're seeking $400 million. That's $400 million that's going into that company, not into Bitcoin. So we'll start to see more of this as more companies start to bloom. People are starting to look at other ways to invest in cryptocurrency instead of buying the underlying product. For whatever reason, I still don't know, but I get it, I guess, for diversification. But there are a lot of people saying, hey, I want to invest in Coinbase. I want to invest in Gemini. I want to invest in the mining companies. I want to invest in the video game companies. I don't want to actively invest in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin itself. So I say that because when you're looking at the price and we're looking at these dips and if and wills and would they happen, I still say that we're good for the most part, because as people invest in these companies, the companies are directly tied to Bitcoin, and the smarter companies like Gemini, like if they get $400 million, some of that money, if not like all or half, is going straight to Bitcoin through them. So that is the positive thing. But as far as these companies actively invest in Bitcoin themselves, it doesn't look like they're going to keep doing that. Let's see what's going on in the comment section. What's going on? Les Square, Cultural Connection, what's going on? J.E. Walter, yes, smash that like and share. Tessa Grand Rising, Chappie, say I tried to get some Miami coin. My bank stopped me from the purchase. Yeah, again, if you have some Miami coin in the chat and you doing whatever you do, make sure you make it known so others can figure out how to get their hands on some as well. Let's see what else we have going on. DJ, what's going on? Say I'm up in here. F my meeting, Jim, and the crypto comes first. Much appreciated. Lauren Sanders, great point. If Binance shut down, what happens to the value of Binance coin? So, of course, Binance coin is supposed to be also used for Binance Smart Chain and Binance transactions to save on those transaction fees. So, if it is DeFi, as they say, and it works without Binance, then the coin from a fundamental perspective, it would slip and dip as far as like on the face, people would say, oh my God, Binance is going down. BNB coin must no longer work. So I think initially it would slip and it'll probably stay down 20 and 30% from where it's at right now. It'll probably like slip and stay down there for a long time. But I don't think it will kill it because people still use Binance Smart Chain. They're saying it operates independently outside of Binance. So if these things are true and they're still working on this to make it as DeFi as possible, then the token itself, from a technical perspective, should still work and should still have value for those people building on that chain. Let's see. Yes, Bitcoin Shine, those Bitcoin ATMs and malls and airports. We're going to be talking about that as well today. Wiki, thank you for paying that like tax, saying I usually catch the podcast. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Let's see. Ali Pio said, I was shilling your show just a minute ago on a different live show and ran into another crypto warrior. Gang. There we go. That's what I like to see. It's actually funny. I've been on a couple of different crypto channels where I'll just pop in occasionally, say what's up, and there's warriors on their channel too, same day. So that's pretty funny as well. All right, big news again, as we all talk about the price. I mean, it's still good news coming out. Fidelity clears regulatory hurdle to become Canada's first institutional Bitcoin custodian. The service would only be available to institutional investors for now, but Fidelity is also launching Bitcoin ETFs to cater to retail interests. Like, we are telling you, this is what they're doing. It is unfair and it is corrupt, but hey, I mean, I'm not even mad. If people aren't fighting back, if people aren't raising up a fuss or a storm, then I guess it's not an issue. But like, this is an issue. The first sentence is like the headline and the first sentence, which are both correct and factual. This is what's wrong with mainstream adoption. Even though we want it, like, this is the issue with it. The confusion, the corruption. For one, there isn't a regulatory hurdle to offer Bitcoin. Anyone can buy Bitcoin, but you see what they're doing? They're trying to create these barriers so you feel like you cannot legally buy or own Bitcoin. That is false. That's incorrect. That's unfair. That's not true. Like, anyone can buy it and own it, but in the title itself, they're talking about clearing a regulatory hurdle. There's a hurdle already. They're making it a barrier. So not only are they making it a barrier, but now they're saying, hey, this service, and we're talking about banks here, like, let's not be naive. You're forced to use banks already. Hey, you're forced to use banks already. There was a story here in Los Angeles recently. Long story short, homeless man, I think a family member died, left him $75,000. He couldn't cash a check because he couldn't get a bank account because he didn't have an ID, because he was a homeless man who didn't have an ID, couldn't get an ID from the state or the city because he doesn't have a home address. So he could not cash that check. He relied on someone else to cash it for him, and they stole the money. So that was like a top story going around local LA news or whatever, right? But it all started because he has these barrier to entries to where he can't get the money. Somebody left him money, he has a check, he can't cash a check because he can't get a bank account. And as of recently, I just tried to sign up for another bank account and PO box and all this other stuff. And the amount of personal information they need and want is ridiculous. So I was like, you know what, I'm good. But the fact that there's these hurdles to even be allowed to bank is crazy, which is why Bitcoin was invented. Bitcoin was created because there is no barrier to entry, to value, to bank, to money. It is your own bank. Anyone can do it. So it's like, it is nerve-wracking to see that they had to clear these regulatory hurdles to begin with, because we're creating hurdles out of thin air. And then to add insult to injury, they're really only saying that only institutional investors can even get the Bitcoin to be custodian by these banks. Now that will change, because for one, is ridiculous. And I get it. Banks are like, hey, we got to deal with the government direct. They don't even want this at all. So we have to tiptoe into it. But when it's all said and done, they want to keep everyone's Bitcoin. And the reason why they want to keep everyone's Bitcoin is because it's going to be fractional reserve banking. It's going to be like the IOUs from the dollars and gold. The next thing you know, we'll be off the gold standard, but we'll still have the gold. The government will, but not the people. It will be the same way. They want, and I don't care if you're 8 years old, if you got Bitcoin, come bring it to the bank, because they want to keep your Bitcoin. So when it's all said and done, they will allow for retail investors. But for right now, they're saying only institutional investors can buy and have their Bitcoin in banks, and only retail investors can get ETFs. Do you understand like that? That is a smack in the face. No broke boy and girls can buy the Bitcoin. Y'all can get this fake Bitcoin, this paper money. And just to be clear, a Bitcoin ETF is a United States dollar. Like, it's really the same thing. The United States dollar was what Bitcoin ETF is. The Bitcoin, the United States dollar, was that to gold. All right. They like, hey, we got your gold here. Here goes some paper. It's an IOU. You can bring this paper back. We give you a gold. Bitcoin ETF is saying, hey, we got the Bitcoin for you. You just buy this Bitcoin ETF, this digital certificate, and we're going to keep your Bitcoin nice and safe. Like, it doesn't make sense. And that's why they're trying to give it to all the retail people and not the institutional people. But to go more into this story, again, I won't even say people, it's more organizations. This is being reported by the Globe and Mail. But again, Fidelity Clearing Canada received approval from the Investment Industry Regulatory Organization of Canada on Wednesday to launch a Bitcoin trading and custody platform. It is designed for use by institutional investors, such as pension funds, portfolio managers, and mutual funds, and would be a first-of-a-kind service in the country. The firm also plans to cater to retail investors with its regulatory filing for a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund and mutual fund. That's right. You all don't get Bitcoin, you get the funds, which was submitted earlier this week. As of September, Fidelity has over $4.2 trillion in assets under management around the world. In addition, exchange-traded cryptocurrency products are rapidly gaining traction, with more than such 40 instruments awaiting approval in the U.S. alone. So again, we all know why they're doing it. The demand is going crazy. What's even crazy about this story, though, is like everyone in the space called this for this type of capitulation, and it's crazy to actually see it happening. People, did you just see that number? How many assets under management? Trillions? It was trillions of dollars, 4.9 trillion or something. Let me look at this number. $4.2 trillion in assets under management. And it's 2021, it's really 2022. And they're just now getting to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. These people do not know what they're doing. You have 4.2 trillion, I was going to say million again, $4.2 trillion assets under management. Why haven't you already just started buying Bitcoin? Like this, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I know I don't know the cost of ships and planes. And I mean, I know JP Morgan spend money. I mean, not only do they have to spend money on a ship, they got to spend money on a cocaine affiliate. So I can only imagine how much all these things cost to pay off all these people you need to pay off. However, if you have $4.2 trillion of assets under management, and you're still on the fence and playing around about how you're going to offer Bitcoin and regulatory hurdles, it's like you could have just moved forward and accepted it for retail investors. And by the time you would have been fined, like you would have paid the fines off laughing. Could you imagine if $4.2 trillion assets under management, Fidelity, started buying Bitcoin when Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy started buying it at around $30,000 Bitcoin. When he's throwing billions of dollars in it. Could you imagine if they did it at the same time at 60K? You literally could have paid the fine right now and been like, we still gonna keep rolling. Don't believe us? Ask crypto.com. They'll show you how to do it. What's going on in the comment section? Let's see. Power of 9. What's going on? Said Kraken. Yeah, I haven't used Kraken in a very long time, but they used to be pretty good as well. Said Avanti. I haven't used Avanti either. It's a Wyoming bank formed to serve as a compliant bridge between digital assets and the U.S. dollar payment system, and as a custodian of digital assets. I think we actually started seeing that. How we have like the Bank of International Settlements, the Bank of Banks, essentially. We'll see that where maybe not every bank will do it, but the bigger banks will say, hey, our smaller banks are being backed by our Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin, the reserve currency, and our smaller banks are able to get to that capital or provide liquidity to them so your money's safe. That may be the way they do it in the future, but remains to be seen because as Kel said, they're still playing the fiat game. So they're not even worried about this at all as of now. Let's see what's going on. Hardwick, no, long time no see. No, see. I can't even say the word right now. I'm reading. Coop DeVille says, say no to KYC. You already know it. Said recreating the legacy system, the nerve. You know what? They are recreating the legacy system, but I'm not even mad because, like I said, it's no one's stopping it. Or, it's happening right in front of us where we're watching and allowing banks and the government essentially to make the rules of cryptocurrency. Two entities that are the last motherfuckers to the party. Like, could you imagine that? It's a party going on. It's been popping. If it's like Los Angeles, you only got till 2 a.m. anyway, right? So it's like 1:30, it's 1:45. They already talking about turning on the lights and stopping the drinks. And all of a sudden, 2 or 3 people walk in and say, hey, turn the music to a different station. We ain't drinking this no more. We're drinking this. And we're doing this way. Like, we're going to rearrange the furniture. Turn the light real quick, matter of fact, while I rearrange this furniture. All right, turn back off the light. Y'all said we got till 2 a.m.? All right, let's get the party started. It's like, wait, what are you doing? Like, the show's been rolling, man. Like, slow songs are starting to play. Everybody got that one girl they like. All right, they already played Juvenile, back that ass up. Everybody didn't pull who they pull. The dance has happened. Everybody's about to go home with the person they've been kicking it with. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 people come in the party and say, no, y'all need to stay in here. This is the way we're going to have fun the rest of the night. It's like, no, we've already been doing this. Like, this is episode, and this is crazy, people. This is compared to our episode number. I don't even know, but this is like episode 800 or whatever. And all of a sudden, we have a regulator, government, Biden administration coming out saying these are the rules. And at the same time, we have banks coming out saying these are the rules for the custodial Bitcoin. It's just like, really? Like, that's what we're doing. That's what's up. I'm not mad at that. But speaking on these lawmakers and coming in the ninth inning, lawmakers push back on crypto provisions and infrastructure bill. I was actually very happy to see this. Again, what's disgusting about this in general is that they're playing this cat and mouse game. Like, this is what they want us to do right here, to say, the latest proposal from a group of House Democrats seeks to change how updates to the tax code affect crypto entities who do not engage in brokerage services. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are fighting back against changes to tax reporting rules for crypto brokers and transactions over $10,000 in the newly passed infrastructure bill. 10 United States Democratic Congresspeople led by Darren Soto called for revisions to the definition of a broker in the infrastructure bill that was passed into law Monday. So what they want you to do, they want you to say, see, we got the 10 Democrats fighting back. All right? Picking sides again. They're politicizing it. No. Here's the issue with both sides. Who asked them to do anything? Again, it's like 10 to 20 bankers who are asking for this regulation. We have not had votes. I haven't heard of no town hall meetings throughout the United States. I haven't received any text messages or emails. And don't tell me you can't do it. You are able to email and mail letters and do everything you need to do to make sure you got a stimulus package or gave people a stimulus package. You were able to do that for a PPP loan. You were able to do that for SBA loans. You were able to do that for vaccinations. All of a sudden, you can reach every motherfucking American for a vaccination, but you can't do it for food or for diabetes medicine, for cancer medicine. You can do it. So my point is, we have the ability to reach every American. It is no longer, can we reach this person? Can we get into? No. Y'all said we have like 80-90% vaccination rate. So we can reach every American. Since we can reach every American, why haven't every American been talking about this? All of a sudden, you're passing laws and bills about how we're going to do banking and the future of our financial economy without asking citizens. So already this is wrong in its entirety. I don't like that either side of the aisle is starting to make regulation out of thin air about cryptocurrency without even asking the crypto community or the actual community of the United States. They're just going about it. So I'm not cool with this. What they're doing, they're trying to break it into sides. But this, you got to remember this about the government. They've already decided, yo, we're going to tax it. We're going to do this with it. We're going to do that with it. Now, some of them may have went far and right with it. Some are far and left. But at the end of the day, now they're just trying to decide how much power and control they're going to have. Don't you worry. No matter what amount they decide on now, we're going to have a little bit of power and control now. We're going to have a lot. It doesn't matter because in another 10 years, they're going to go for a little bit more. Another 10 years, they're going to go for more. Another 20 years, they're going to go for more until we're back to this. Why $10,000? Let's go to $600 because it's digital. You can track it. Why not go lower? So again, not happy to see this. I would say the good thing about all of this infrastructure bill, again, the government's on the government side. They're going to keep pushing this, but this is not supposed to take effect until the year 2024. Biden administration may not even be there. And even if it does take effect, when it does take effect, again, I don't think they're going to roll it back because it's money and the government is gang. They want their taste, they want their piece of the pie. However, there is a chance. There is a chance that a new president, Zay and I were actually talking about it, like, hey, we're getting to the point, what horse do we want to back, right? What horse do we want to back? He's down in Miami. I think we all know one of the horses we would actually back. So it was like, hey, what if we can get this guy or these people into a presidential seat by 2024? That could change the entire outlook and landscape of the provision in this infrastructure bill immediately. It's kind of like when President Obama had Affordable Health Care Act, also known as Obamacare. As soon as Trump came in, he was like, all right, we're doing away with some of these things that go on here. Trump came up with X, Y, and Z. We're going to do this. Biden came in and was like, no, we're not. We're not going to do this right here. Same thing. He can say all this stuff for this infrastructure bill and all these provisions. Bottom line is, look, the guy might not even be alive, like to keep it real. So whether he is or not, whether he wins a second term or not, whether he has the energy to run for a second term, because I can only imagine how much energy that takes, whatever it is, it could be someone else in the office at the time, and all of this could go down the drain. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, I'm not thrilled to see that. I'm not thrilled to see them coming up with regulations without even considering everyone else. But gang on a gang, I'm not mad at it. And that's just the way it works for us on this side of the fence, whether you're a retail investor or a credit investor. It's up to us to see the plays and to figure out, all right, whatever. This is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be. How can I still grow my portfolio? And with draconian measures like this, I guess it's going to be through Zcash and Monero. Listen, it's whack-a-mole, people. No one's even talking about privacy coins yet. The government really think they're going to come in and just smack everybody around like they've been smacking them around. Privacy coins, it's going to, listen, privacy coins, it's going to be very tough to stop those things. So we'll see what happens. Looking at the comments right now, what's going on P Beach? Let's see. Too Young, Too Great said, get Miami Coin so you don't have to listen to TGOC tell you I told you so. If Miami Coin takes off, we're definitely going to say we told you so here. Let's see. Cornelius Brownix, what's going on? Jeffrey said, do your own research. You know it. Satoshi Slim said, Miami been tanking since I bought it. Laughing at the beauty of trust me who I get my info from. There you go. Let's see. Alpha Robbins, what's going on? Made it to a live show. Let's see. Did we hear about Parler, the right-wing Proud Boy app warning people about the metaverse? No, I didn't. What were they warning people about the metaverse for? I wonder. That'd be pretty interesting though. Jahez Kryptonic, what's going on? Yes, we actually had the founder of Sovereign on the show. Bitcoin Zay is talking about Sovereign before we have it in the masterclass. We briefly go over it. So I would say look back into the old episodes, probably about, I would say 2 months ago now, we had the founder on the show. So just look for the Sovereign interview. You can probably type in like Sovereign Gem into crypto and they should pop up as well. Hardwick, there we go. We got a link up there. Hardwick said coming to UCLA for the Masters. Hey, definitely give me a shout when you make it out here. I know Hardwick, he sends me some TA every now and then. He actually, hey, listen, he gets it correct a couple times. He pissed me off because he be calling for it to dip. And it dips sometimes when he says it. And I'm like, no, I don't need that in my life. But right now, Hardwick, I actually do need a nice, strong 25K plus Bitcoin dip. So do what you do with those numbers and send me some information. Make it happen, man. Let's see. Reno Gamble said we should clip that part about why Bitcoin was brought forward, obstacles to banking. Right. I mean, that's the thing. And that's when we talk about Bitcoin as a technology or as a monetary system or as worth or as an investment. We keep going back to, and even goes to the show, and it's like we're not giving investment advice. We're talking about technology. It just so happens with this technology, you can increase your value, whatever that value is. If it's fiat value, then maybe it's fiat. If it's crypto value, it might be crypto. If it's just your brain, your knowledge, your intelligence, you can increase value that way in this space. Like you do become instantly smarter reading about cryptocurrency, like it's cryptography. You become smart. But let's not forget, and that's where the whole thing is. Every time we have interviews, I talk to people offline. We deal with so many, like you all know, so we deal with so many companies in this space at this point. Is crazy. We deal with a lot of companies. And that's usually the vibe they're giving us. And some of them just come straight out and tell us like, hey, we know we're here for the money. And it's like, the thing is, the technology is super cool. People, Bitcoin solved, like everyone can bank. Like that is a huge thing. And again, I get it, to some people, this is normal stuff. It's not a big deal. I remember when I was in the military, a friend's mother of mine was talking about how this other guy didn't know how to write a letter. And I was like, honestly, I didn't know how to write a letter until I was like early 20s myself. Like I wasn't writing letters. I just didn't know how to do it. It's just things you don't know. But I mentioned that because it's the same with banking. I know so many people to this day who still don't have bank accounts like that, who are adults who don't have bank accounts, that have issues with banking. Everyone doesn't make money. Some people don't keep a lot of money in banks. They're getting charged, the $35 fee. If their account gets overdrawn, like that's a big fee to some people. They get charged an $8 savings account fee. So your account not even saving money, you're actually getting charged to use a savings account. So like these are real issues for people, not just here in America, but definitely around the world, when you start talking about people still living in villages and huts. And I've actually been to those villages and huts in the military. So I know it's not a joke. I've been to smaller countries like Timor-Leste, where it's like not even electricity. There's no street lights. There's only like one hotel in the entire like little country that has electricity going through it. So this is a real thing for people. And once all those people start to find out about Bitcoin and transacting, because the thing that will be easy for them is getting their hands on a cell phone. And once electric grids get put up in some of these places, they'll have those cell phones. And then all they would need to do to bank is just to have a cell phone and to download the Bitcoin software on a computer, or just use a peer-to-peer transaction to get some sense of them. So that's the beauty of Bitcoin, people. It's the technology of it. It just so happens that if you're in a good position already, you can make money off it. You can use it as an investment vehicle. You can do all these things when it comes to generational wealth. But let's not forget the technology. The importance of it is that anyone can become a bank. And to illustrate how important that is, JP Morgan Chase, people, like, that's what I'm saying. Anyone can become JP Morgan Chase overnight. You don't believe me? Ask Vitalik Buterin, right? He made Ethereum when he was like 17, 18 years old. He created Ethereum. That's the beauty of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. You can become a bank overnight. So I want to make sure we talk about that for sure. Last but not least, U.S. city sets up Bitcoin ATM in airport after crypto payment adoption. This deserves a hand clap. That's right. The city of Williston, never heard of this city before, but shout out to Williston. The city of Williston expects to boost crypto payment volumes by installing a state-hosted crypto kiosk in the airport. Listen. Here it is. Here's another free one, America. You don't want to tax your citizens, or you want to reduce the tax rate. If you want to do anything to save your citizens money, put a state-hosted crypto kiosk around the city, put many of these things around the city, and charge the people on the fees. Keep the fees on ATMs, Bitcoin ATMs. You can charge up to like 15 to 20% on fees, and people will still use it. Like, this proof of concept is there. It could be 15 to 20%, and people are still going to use it. They're going to sell and buy Bitcoin from an ATM with a 15 to 20% fee. That is a beautiful margin. To give you an idea of other margins like that, the cannabis industry here in California, Los Angeles, I think it's about what, 30%, like 20 to 30% on the dollar for everything you buy, essentially. and they're making a killing. I remember in Colorado first unveiled it. That first 6 months, they were talking about how much money the state of Colorado made from selling cannabis. I say all that to say, yes, this will actually work. Set up state-hosted Bitcoin ATMs everywhere. People will use them. The city or the state and the federal government can keep the fees and lay off our back, or at least keep the fees and offer something to citizens. Everybody wants free healthcare. This may be the key to doing it. Like, we have options. Is really about changing the paradigm and the mindset of the people in charge, so they can understand that, hey, we can all win and make money. Like, this is the first time in history everyone can win and make money. We don't have to do this dog eat dog thing right now. We can all win and make money. So again, shout out to North Dakota's city of Williston as they continue exploring and adopting the cryptocurrency industry by elevating a crypto automated teller machine ATM in this international airport. The city's administration officially announced the installation of the government-hosted cryptocurrency kiosk at the Williston Basin International Airport, allowing passengers and non-travelers to buy and sell 40 digital currencies. The list of supported coins include Bitcoin, Ether, Dogecoin, and of course your favorite, Shiba Inu. And for the initiative, the city of Williston partnered with the crypto service CoinCloud, which provided its digital currency machines, DCM, to the city. According to the firm, a DCM is more than just a Bitcoin ATM. It allows users to buy and sell not only Bitcoin, but the 40 other digital assets with cash. Old school Bitcoin ATMs can't do all that, CoinCloud says. Perfect example right here, people. This is a perfect example. You know what this is right there? A sponsorship. You know what they didn't just tell you it was? A sponsorship. CoinCloud, shout out to CoinCloud in the city of Williston. But this is super cool to see. It looks like Hercules Cummings, the finance director for the city of Williston, told Cointelegraph that the effort may be the first case of an airport and government-hosted crypto ATM in the United States. He also now anticipates the city crypto payment volume to increase, stating, by the government accepting cryptocurrencies for utility payments now coupled with hosting cryptocurrency ATMs, a government is a key player providing exposure to the public and accelerating adoption of cryptocurrency. So again, this is a great news story. Shout out to Williston. But hey, listen, I can't hold it in. I got to be real. I have to be real. I watch Bitcoin Zay, a private United States citizen who hasn't done anything wrong, right? We're talking no criminal record, college educated, did all the right things, checked all the boxes, did what the government and the school teachers and the law told him to do. Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay, we're going to do it the right way, blah, 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 blah. Buys a Bitcoin ATM, tries to make things work. There's no regulation involved. All of a sudden, you wake up Wednesday morning, Friday morning. To have a Bitcoin ATM, you need to have a money transmitter license. You need to have a broker license. Oh, you need to have this type of license. Oh, okay. All together, you're looking at like 150K in licenses, and then you can have it. And this is like, really? Oh, okay. A year or 2 years later, now cities are offering it government hosted. Like, gang on a gang. I'm not mad, but goddamn, you don't have to do it to your own citizens. All right. Like, we're in the gang with you. What do you want from us? Like, we are here with you doing what you told us to do, and you doing this to us. So again, I'm happy to see the city of Williston step up, do it. I mean, super risky for mayors and cities to even do this, knowing they don't have that federal backing just yet. And the reason why they don't have that federal backing is because the feds want to work with the big banks first to kind of establish this framework, which we're doing, these provisions. And then they want to figure out how they can optimize and get the most money, the most squeeze out of everyone, the most crypto out of everyone. And then they'll make it legal. Then they'll tell you what's legal and what you're able to do. However, I want to make sure I'm clear now. We are still in Napster, LimeWire era right now. They can tell you whatever you want, but the tech is there. You can use the technology. They can tell you, like Spotify, iTunes, all this isn't here yet. This isn't here. We still got CDs and we got Napster. We got cash and we got Bitcoin. They can tell you all the rules and laws, but the technology is there for anybody to use. So, and I say that to say, like, this story really is this story and about Zay and the ATM. This goes to what was the other story? I'm about to lose it. It goes to some of the other stories we're talking about. Oh, crypto. We're crypto.com. It kind of goes to crypto.com rebranding from Monaco, where we face that same hurdle. It was like, Okay, do we break the law or break these laws that they literally just invented 24 hours ago and didn't tell nobody about? We're finding out because we know people. Do we break these laws and pay these fines or risk jail time? Which again, they threw Charlie Shrimp in jail at 23 years old, threw his ass in prison with a straight face. They gave Ross Ulbricht a double L, life sentences, 2 of them. So we know they'll do it. So you're asking yourself, do I risk for greatness? Do I risk breaking these laws and pissing these people off? Crypto.com said yes, it was worth it. We were Monaco, we broke it, we did it, we swapped it, we making money now. However, that is the issue, and it goes into stories like this where it's like either you do it and you come out great, or you go to prison, or you don't do it, and then there's government hosted crypto ATMs everywhere. Where seriously, this should have been a private citizen saying that, hey, now the city of Williston has its private citizens ATM. Nonetheless, I'm still happy about it because, like I said, if this is done correctly and with good faith, then the city of Williston should be taxing their citizens less. They should either be taxing you all less in the coming years, or they should be providing more services free of charge. Whatever it is, they should be doing something if it's going to be a government hosted ATM. But hey, we seen, hey, look, they figured, hey, we got to get that crypto somehow, baby. We got to get that Bitcoin and crypto somehow. And you know I'm not going crazy because, listen, United States, we're capitalists, we're competitors. There's no way in hell the government plans to roll out Bitcoin ATMs or state-hosted ATMs, and they're going to be letting private citizens do it. Nah, that's where that license came from. They was like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you definitely need a license to do that. We can't just have everybody out here with Bitcoin ATMs. That's a little too dangerous. But hey, gang on the gang, I'm not mad at that. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and look at some of these comments. I see a lot of comments coming in. What's going on, Jonathan Santiago? Let's see. Power of Nine said, don't fight the government with crypto laws. Fighting for peace is like screwing for virginity, says George Carlin. I mean, and you know, seriously, you are right. That's the thing. And we kind of learned this too. Like, if you're going to break the law, break it. Make sure you got some money saved for those fines or lawyers or whatever comes with it. But as far as like fighting them, like it'll take your resources. It will literally take your resources as a company to hire lawyers to go against the government. And really for them, they're just trying to slow you down. I mean, they can get a win, they can get a dub. Of course they want it. But right now, as innovation happens, they really just want to slow companies down so they can do things like this. So we'll see. S1 Dove says 25K. That's way too much. Man, 25K is a low end. We saw some, like, I'm telling you, like, folks, I'm telling you, it wasn't just that either. We had other things we were doing in this space, and the numbers behind the licenses were crazy. I mean, like, literally the numbers were, it was like one license, they wanted like 100, 150K for a license or some type of banking license. And it was just like, all right, whatever. Like, you know, okay, that's what's up. I'm not mad. Again, I'm not mad. If I was in charge, listen, if I was in charge as the president of a democratic nation, I wouldn't do it. I would go back for citizens like, hey, let's vote on these apps. But if I was in charge of a business, what the government basically is in America, the government's a business. Like, half of these people got interest in other countries. They're not even patriotic, to keep it all real. But if I was running a business known as the government, then yeah, I'll be the same way. Like, hey, ain't nobody getting nothing off. Like, no, we getting everything. You're going to run everything through me. This is the way it's going to work. And if you fight back, you're going to prison. So I'm not mad at them. I get what they're doing. And hey, it is what it is. Let's see what else we have going on. Kadeem said, I think we'll end up learning privacy coins ain't private. Possibly, but so far they are. And what I will say is, I think if any privacy coin came out and it wasn't that private type of deal or the big news, whatever, I think the building would keep happening. Like, it's such an important thing. It's such an important concept. I think developers would make it their business to ensure we always have at least one working privacy coin. Those are my thoughts. Let's see. Cryptonomics said, Metaverse reminds me of farmland when Facebook first came out. That is hilarious. Mr. Lima said, okay, same, not sure about privacy coins. Wallet tracing can still occur. You know what? Again, I don't know. I would say I don't know because the amount, like, if you're using a privacy coin and you're intentionally trying to stay hidden, use VPNs and everything else, and a lot of people are doing it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I am saying the amount of resources and time to trace those transactions may outweigh actually whatever you'll get from it, right? So it will want to be one of those things where it'll just have to be worth it. Let's see. Brian King, are crypto IRAs worth checking out? Not too sure if there is a third-party custodian. So yeah, if it was a crypto IRA, there'd definitely be a third-party custodian. But here's my thing. When you talk about crypto IRAs, buy a wallet, buy a hardware wallet, and put your favorite coins in there. Like that's your IRA right there. Like buy your favorite wallet, buy the projects you're interested in. Don't look at them. First thing, when you're talking about IRAs or whatever, retirement funds, of course, that's for long-term investments and growth, right? Right now, almost every project, well, not even almost, every project out there, including Bitcoin, is brand new. Bitcoin just turned into a teenager, 13 years old. Every project is new. A lot of people have been working at their jobs longer than cryptocurrency has been out. I say that because when you're talking about IRAs, again, buy a hardware wallet, jump into some of your favorite projects, and don't look at them because they're brand new. They're already at their inception. This is the beginning. Like you don't have to keep putting in every month on having these things. You can just put in and literally forget. There are so many people who gave me calls and texts when Dogecoin pumped earlier this year because they was like, man, hey, I bought Dogecoin back in 2017 when this or that or whatever, when you were talking about this. And it's just like, I didn't even look at that wallet until I started seeing the headlines. And I was like, hold on, this looks familiar. There were so many of those stories of people like, yo, I literally was looking at this wallet I haven't looked at for years, and I have this amount of money in there. So imagine doing that for 20 or 30 years with some of these projects. Will there be some losers? Yes. But by and large, one winner will probably make up for every loser if you're looking at terms of retirement with some of these projects. Crypto Chief said, I'm glad technology is shaking up the financial sector. Banks have been doing whatever they want for decades. Exactly. And that's why it's so ugly right now, because it's one of those things where this is the first time they're being told no. Tell someone no who's never heard it before and watch how they act. It's not pretty. And that's all this is. This is the first time banks have been told no. They've been told not only no, but you're going to do it my way, punk. Like this is the first time this has ever happened to them. They don't know how to deal with it, but they're learning. They are learning how to deal with it. So we'll see what's going on. Crypto Vantage, shout out to cryptovantage.com, of course. Great partnership there with them. Make sure you're still checking them out for all that news, free news information, as well as their newsletter has been pretty good as well. I've still been getting that also. Michael Kennedy said, does anyone write letters now? LOL. You know what? Only for special people. Special people get letters still. That's cool. Cornelius said the Parler email was about big tech keeping tabs and surveillance on the metaverse being like a piper for people willing to give up info that Parler themselves are probably selling. Okay, so they're saying that if you go to the metaverse, then essentially all your data is going to be shared or whatever. So possible. I'm not sure as far as the metaverse is still new, so I'm not sure how it works as far as using VPNs and Tor browsers to try to remain as hidden as possible. But there is a possibility that if one of these metaverses, if they have any type of centralized component on the back end of someone being able to essentially being a honeypot. However, if the metaverse gets as big as people plan for it to get as big to actually be like Ready Player One, where you have 60% of the planet plugged into the digital landscape, 90% of the time type of deal, then I don't think it'll matter as much because it's almost like the real world right now. Like the real world is under surveillance, right? Yet Parler still exists. Organizations and groups still exist. So I think going over to the metaverse, maybe early on, the louder, more aggressive groups may be easy to identify. But as time goes on, as millions of people in the metaverse, like at Facebook, i.e. Meta or whatever, they do become Meta and they switch the entire metaverse, that'll be 1 point something billion people in the metaverse. So it still might be that type of honeypot, but it will be a lot harder to identify people, I think. Jay, everything, bang, bang, shots fired. It said Ghost lost the beard, and it's like he time traveled. Now he young blood. You know it. What's going on, Jay? Carmelos, I feel sorry for those who missed out just because the right info is not getting to them. Listen, and that's kind of our thing with yesterday in the Breakfast Club and all that. Like, we truly don't care about whatever platform or organization are needing to be on, but it's also about the right information. It's like, we're just trying to get the right information out. Again, when we started this, it was because there was a need for it. Like we had clients, we were on the phone with people every day, 15, 16 hours a day. And it's like, where can we go to talk to everybody at one time? And usually those phone calls where people will wake up in the morning, Bitcoin's dead or this is happening or Michael Saylor said this about that. Of course, this is before the Michael Saylor days, but people were reacting to headlines. So businesses, individuals were calling us up saying, yo, I just saw Cointelegraph. What's going on? The Bitcoin price is dropping. And we said, hey, just come to this YouTube so we can talk to everybody every day about these headlines at least, and people won't freak out and we don't have to spend an hour or 2 hours on the phone. But that's what this is about. It's about getting the right info out. If at that time there was another YouTube channel out that we could just direct people to, we probably actually would have did that. We would have been like, check out this person over here every day. You can check them out. If you have any questions, anything else in detail, call us for that. But there wasn't anyone out there. So now that there are more people out there and they're trying to make a name and business of it, again, they're thinking money first. It's like, well, if that's going to be the play, then at least get the right information out there, which you're not doing, which in turn fucks up the overall market because you got people all of a sudden buying Dogecoin and Shiba. When if you could imagine the market cap of Dogecoin and Shiba, those didn't exist, and that market cap was in Bitcoin and Ethereum. As far as projects that money and that capital should actually be used to spend on, again, who's to say what's right and what's wrong? But personally, I think that market cap money should be going toward Bitcoin to be used to improve it. So for me, it's about getting the right info out. So we're not seeing meme coin after meme coin after meme coin after meme coin after pump and dump after pump and dump after pump and dump. And we're actually seeing resources being put toward projects like Bitcoin that can change the lives of those people in those small countries who don't have electricity yet, who are just trying to bank. You don't want to go to those people and say, hey, here go Dogecoin and Shiba, it works. This is your banking of the future. That's not the banking of the future. You want to go to them with Bitcoin and stuff and say, all right, this works. This is the banking of the future. So I got to get the right info out. That's definitely a goal we want to happen. Let's see, Jay, everything said Ghost hopped in DeLorean, talking about Back to the Future. Hilarious. Mr. Lima said regarding security, I think about wallet tracing and tracking on the blockchain. Exact location of hard wallet may not be known. Okay, but the actual code, I'm assuming you're saying, or the keys. Let's see. All right, last couple of comments. Been buying these dips at 58,000 and hope it drops even more. I keep saying, listen, if this thing can drop, please, 30K, it'll be a great day. I wanted to drop to 30K and rain hard all at the same time. Can you recommend a good book on banking and crypto? Well, of course, the island, Jekyll, I can't remember, what is it? The island of Jekyll Island. Somebody's about to write in chat, but the book I always referred to about how the financial system essentially got started in America. I would definitely suggest that book. First and foremost, we talk about that book in the masterclass. I actually go through some of that book in the masterclass as well. Of course, for crypto itself, Bitcoin in Black America, Zay, the little Bitcoin book that Jimmy Sohn wrote is pretty good as well. It gets you straight to the point. Of course, both of Andreas Antonopoulos, Mastering Bitcoin 1 and 2. I would check those out as well. Those get more into the technical features of it also. But if you want to dive that deep, those are good books also. So I think that's like 4 right there. Those are some pretty good ones to start off with as well. All right. Bitcoin Standard. Yes, Too Young, Too Great, a Bitcoin Standard as well. If there are any other books, please share those in the comments. I know you all are going to have to do it as well. Let's see. Oh, Michael Kennedy said, I'm going to have to sell my T-share to pay for my loan because it's getting too close for comfort, right? That's one of the things about these the loans. If you're talking about the collateralized loans, times like this when the market is on the fritz, then yes, sometimes you do have to sell. Let's see, last few questions. Oh, Cornelius, thank you, Cornelius. Cornelius said, go ahead and shut the show off. They're tripping with the likes. There it is, people. I was about to go through and answer some questions, but Cornelius, I appreciate that. You are right. Hey, we can't get a couple of likes, and hey, y'all know how it is. Hey, make sure you smash that like and share. Oh man, I'm seeing some great questions. I would love to answer these, but he's right. It's 8:10. It's a lot going on today, and I guess people don't want to stay and talk. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Fuck Bitcoin Fridays with some more crypto news, and let's see if we can get those likes up. We might make it a full hour, hour and a half.